The NFL draft is officially in the rearview, and the Pittsburgh Steelers class has created some polarizing topics among the media. Among them are some serious overreactions surrounding TJ Watt, George Pickens, and the quarterback position. Today, we're going to discuss all three. Hey everyone, Rob Gregson of A to Z Sports Pittsburgh, and today we're going to discuss the three biggest overreactions following NFL draft weekend. Starting off with TJ Watt and the drafting of Jack Sawyer. Look, Jack Sawyer is a great player. He is probably going to be on the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long, long time. And you could argue that taking an edge player in the fourth round when that is probably the strength of the team is a little bit of a concern when you consider they need wide receiver depth, cornerback depth, and other positions even at that point in the draft. However, what you cannot argue, and that for whatever reason is permeating throughout social media and the fan base, is that Jack Sawyer is going to replace TJ Watt. The Steelers have no, and I mean zero, inclination to want to trade TJ Watt, to want to not work out a deal with him, and certainly not to try and replace him with a fourth round pick. TJ Watt will be on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jack Sawyer will be his backup. Plain and simple, cut and dry. Number two, there seems to be a large contingent of fans that are still very concerned with the quarterback position. And I understand that. Obviously, you come out of the NFL draft weekend and the only move you make is drafting sixth-round quarterback Will Howard, who has all the makings of a great backup in the NFL. The truth is, that signing, along with the words of Art Rooney over the weekend, just prove that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. It's not a matter of if, but when he joins the Steelers at this point. We've heard that from insiders. We've been saying that here for weeks. And now, following the NFL draft, where no big move was made, and Art Rooney literally says we are expecting him to come, Aaron Rodgers will be on the Pittsburgh Steelers. No need to worry about the quarterback position. The last thing that I seem to think is just overreaction to the fullest is the George Pickens trade rumors, but not in the way you think. A lot of people seem to think that just because George Pickens made it out of the NFL draft weekend as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers, that he is solidified in his standing there. That might be true, but for now. When training camp comes around and one star wide receiver or even wide receiver 2 for another team gets injured, guess who's going to come calling? That team, they're going to come calling for George Pickens and for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If it gets to the midseason and a wide receiver goes down, or there's a contender out there who says, hey, we're a wide receiver away, the Steelers are going to receive calls about George Pickens. And while I firmly believe that he just ends up walking in free agency next March, if the offer is right, the Pittsburgh Steelers will move on from George Pickens. So just because he's on the team after draft weekend doesn't mean the Steelers are out of the clear in terms of the George Pickens trade rumors just yet. So those are the three biggest overreactions after NFL draft weekend surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers.